Okay, I think I got it. What's up, everybody? My name is Nate with Common Sense Gaming, and finally, the profile picture for this YouTube channel makes sense, and it's relevant. And you can see we're in a different place today. Wow, this looks nothing like the apartment. I was literally exporting a video and it's showing a render error now. That's fantastic. That's a video for Nate's, and we're gonna talk about Life Alyx and what this means for the future of gaming, based on what we're seeing right now with what Valve has done and how we're seeing VR basically becoming a console. And let's begin. Let's first talk about how Alyx is being received. I think if you look at it critically through the critical reviews from the critics, which completely don't matter, it's being very well received, which should never matter what they say. And then when you get to actual gamers and Steam reviews, you start to see the reality, which is still a really good game. So from the gameplay we've probably seen on Twitch and YouTube, or if you are blessed enough to have a VR or a Valve Index, if you're going all the way up, and you got Alyx, and you've played it, you probably know that, yeah, this is a good game. And I have not played it yet myself, but I've watched a lot of gameplay. I watched the ending because I knew it'd probably be a while before I decided to get a whole VR kit, because I know I'm not going to get one unless it's like the high refresh rate Valve Index. And the game looks good. There is an insane amount of detail put into it, and one quick, it's not a spoiler, the moment you get into the game, very early on, you're like by a glass window and you see like a marker, you see drawings on the window, and then you see like down by a table that's by the window, you see the markers and an eraser, like dry erase markers, and you can pick it up in VR and draw on the window, and then you can erase it. It's such a little small thing. The game doesn't tell you to do it at all. It doesn't tell you not to do it as well. It's not mentioned at all in any capacity. It's for you to explore and to just play with and find. That is where VR starts to become this like really cool game space. And what's going to end up happening, and as we clearly already see it, Boneworks is another like VR only type of game, and there's a couple of them. There's a decent amount. Usually they're not big budget. Alyx is our first AAA, triple digits, triple letters. Okay. These videos are not going to be edited. It's straight shot on the phone and uploaded. That's the way we're going to do this channel now. We could probably do a video like every day, since I don't have to throw it through an editor where apparently a Madden video is not going to render out. That's right, you heard me. We're doing a sports video on Nate's. And back to Life Alyx. The amount of detail found in these games is so insanely different than an experience you can have on PC or on Xbox or your like Nintendo console. VR is its own console, and we're going to be at the point probably within 10 years where it's the new standard that everyone has one. Like right now, you could say it's like the new standard. You have your Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. You know which one I have? I happen to have all three, all four. I own everything but VR. But then everyone also has, like, it's the gold standard. You probably also have the Nintendo console. And I think VR is going to introduce itself and be that, like, the next console that everybody has. It's going to be a big thing. I saw there was, like, 40,000 people concurrent in Alyx, like, later the day it came out. 40,000 people is a lot of people. That's a lot of people playing with VR. And that have VR and happen to have bought that game. We don't even know what it really could be. I assume that's a pretty solid number to start with. It is incredible to me where this technology can go and what it means for people in the gaming industry. For us as consumers of video games and loving the community. See, we're 4 minutes in. We haven't even gotten super far into anything. It shouldn't be too long a video. Anyways, we see the amount of, I think specifically you could say, level design and pieces of lore that are put into these games. And this is where you start to see, like, wow, this is Elder Scrolls types of games and Fallout types of games where you could get through them in like 25 hours going through the main quest, maybe less. I think it took me like 20-ish hours for Fallout 4 main quest. And you could turn these games into like 100-hour, 200-hour events with the amount of detail that people seem to take, because it's like you're looking at habits from a game developer, and you're looking, wow, people spend a lot more time looking into corners, looking at objects, turning them around in their hands, and you see this like photorealistic quality to the graphics. And that's why people care, because we're at a point now in gaming and graphics where you see with Alyx, you can go pick up like something on the ground. Let's take a book, for example. You can pick up a book, and you can kind of turn it in your hands. You can see specifically the words, and you're going to see, like, if it's a matte finish to the book and then a gloss finish to, like, the letters. You know what I'm talking about. It's like looking at a Bible, for example. It seems to do this a lot. You can see clearly the letters, and you can see the correct, like, how light would reflect off of that glare as you go. It's really cool to see this type of stuff. And you can pick up so many various items and read it and understand it, and it feels real. Felix Schellberg, PewDiePie, made a great comment, something that felt very real in the moment that he said during his playthrough, and that was, holy crap, I actually forgot I was in VR for a second. It sounded like he was being completely serious, which it makes sense, and I can completely believe. You get to this point, and it's like, he had been messing with objects in his hands. It feels real. Like, your brain can absolutely start to just accept this kind of reality you're in. Things are picking up with your hands. I bet when you're in it as well, stuff starts to have a weight to it. So if you pick up like an empty trash can, you can kind of feel how you pick up one corner. You still feel how it's going to be bottom heavy because most of the metal or plastic, whatever's going to be at the bottom, I'm thinking like a metal trash can. You can still, if you pick up like a vase or a book, I bet you start feeling like your brain starts to add like a weight to it, even though there's nothing. You're just holding the controller. This is a big deal. Alyx is the first game in this space. And for me, I'm excited for more narrative games, story-driven games like Alyx. I'm a huge fan of Half-Life. I played all of them except Alyx. I love like the Valve universe and how Portal and Black Mesa and Borealis, how all that ties in. I'm getting to Portal 3 or whatever Portal spin-off might come. Portal Cave Johnson version, something. I'd love to have a J.K. Simmons. Another round to go with him as a voice actor. God, those games are so good. I see, Valve pushing another Portal out in this. I believe they said as well, I think it was IGN was talking about it, you're not going to have to wait as long for the next Half-Life. That's not completely, I don't know for sure if that is true, but I did see that on the internet, so it has to be true. It's such a big deal where these games are going, and this is Valve that's really kind of pushing and testing this. We can only hope, and we know other companies are going to start jumping in and, okay, we're going to start trying some bigger releases. Valve, it actually mattered to them because they have some skin in the game, and I think they know where Alyx should be taking them. They're the ones that they are the ones that developed the Valve Index, the Steam Index, Valve Index. It's called the Valve Index. They developed the Valve Index. They want to sell these $1,000 headsets. So how do they do that? Well, people aren't going to do it just for Boneworks, even though that game looks fantastic. People aren't going to do it just for super hot VR. Only like YouTubers and streamer types of people are doing it. It's not a lot of casuals. Well, you make a fully fledged Half-Life game, one of the most popular games of all time. You start to move these products. It's going to take more of this. Not everyone's going to jump onto VR yet. Alyx is a massive push for that. But it's not until we're going to get another big game. Maybe Bethesda's going to pull something out soon. Valve actually cares because they want to move these units because they themselves have these big price tags attached to them. So it's worth their investment, and they know what this means in the future as well. This is such a big deal for us. We're literally looking into the future when you look at Half-Life Alyx gameplay. And it's really exciting. And watching PewDiePie play it, watching my friend on Twitch, Daniel Fenner, play it, watching Lyric play it, clicking around watching different streamers and, well-known gamers play the game it makes me crave a gameplay experience I haven't craved in forever. And before, it's only really competitive game experiences where like integrity is through the roof. I'm thinking like the beginning of Overwatch when it had released, and competitive Overwatch when that game mode was introduced. Virtually no hackers for so long. Blizzard's anti-cheat did so well, where maybe just people didn't care enough or try or figure it out, whatever. There were no cheaters for so long. Integrity as time went on has degraded quite a bit, unfortunately. And so it's just like all the other games where it's pretty poop. And I craved that gameplay experience where every competitive game just felt so good. And integrity doesn't just have to be like the cheaters. That's also talking about the general player base's willingness to try and succeed and work together. Cooperation was massive. And I think the next step for me in my cravings, that was step one, was craving those sort of competitive integrity experiences in games. Now, I want more of what I'm seeing with Alyx. And I kind of want like this immersive, story-driven. It's a narrative game, and there's a clear-cut beginning and end. You can follow a path, explore as you want, and much more casual. And I also can't wait till we get a competitive gameplay experience through VR. We're probably a little bit more away from that, doing like first-person shooter type of stuff. I guess everything is technically first-person in VR now, isn't it? I know we have some games that are out like that, but getting like 15 years into the future, I'll be like 30, 35, and we might get our first shooter games that are like, okay, people take this stuff seriously now. It's not a gimmicky VR thing. Pavlov is what it's called, I think. People aren't trying this just to goof around and have some fun with friends, but now it's like a serious esport. I can't wait till we're there, man, and I think the next 10 years will be really cool. But our kids, I think my channel average seem to be like people are 20-ish years old watching this, 20 to 40. So some of you might probably already have kids. But for me, on the more 20 end, our kids are gonna be the ones that grow up with VR as like the cool main thing. At least that's where I think. Maybe that's common sense, maybe it's not, but after looking at Alyx gameplay, that's kind of just where I'm at. It just seems like common sense that this is going to be the future. It's a way more immersive environment. Maybe single-player games of playing on a screen are the past. Multiplayer competitive esports games, maybe we'll still completely do this. We'll be there for a very long time, playing right here on 240 hertz monitors, 1080p. Get yours today, $210.99. This is a 240 hertz monitor, which is cool. Flex. It's really cool to see, you know, potentially what's going to happen to narrative games over time. As, you know, imagine us playing Red Dead Redemption in VR. Playing it on this was already great, but in VR, man, how cool could it possibly be? Pretty cool, I bet. Skyrim, Fallout, all those types of games. But, alright, that's the end of this video. I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. This is easy. If I can literally just hit stop right here, and the video is done, and it uploads on its own from my phone, bro, we have a system now. And I'll just like upload here daily. It won't be super highly edited, but if you like the podcasty style of videos where I'm sitting here talking, this could be cool. I don't know if I should look at myself or look into what would be the iPhone lens. That's right, he's got an iPhone, ladies. Thanks for watching, guys.